Perhaps the greatest challenge that our children and our grandchildren will face is how do we conserve and protect Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good literature or lessons out there teaching our children what may be the greatest responsibility their generation will have. And I've written a series of books entitled The Adventures of Charlie Pierce that try to capture the moral lessons and ideas behind this need that we have as a human race to protect our planet. There's one particular book in the series entitled The Last Egret that tells a story, unfortunately a true story, that my family unwittingly participated in the late 19th century. It took place in the Florida Everglades, in the southern part of the United States in the 1880s and 1890s. It's when a fashion craze throughout not only America but Europe as well dictated that women wanted to wear colorful bird feathers that they called plumes in their hats as a fashion statement. Well, in order to fill this need for women's fashion, millions of birds were killed. Now, that's not what they told the public, of course. They told the public that those were the molten feathers that had fallen to the ground and some kind soul had gathered them up and sent them off to a hat factory. But in reality, birds were being killed by the millions all over the world, but predominantly in the Florida Everglades, one of the premier rookeries or mating areas for migratory birds. Well, my family, my great-grandmother and her older brother, and several friends thought it would be a terrific way to make money to hunt birds in the wild frontier society that my family lived in. That was South Florida in the late 19th century. And they went on a plume hunting expedition. And along the way, they all experienced the same moral learning arc, that this was not the right thing to do regardless of how much money they could make. One by one, they all decided to stop participating. And in fact, they would spend the remainder of their lives trying to make amends for what they had participated in as teenagers. And this book is a very poignant tale, and it's one that is as appropriate today as it was 120 or 130 years ago, because you see, we continue today killing animal species like birds, not because we're hunting them as my family did, but because we are polluting their water supply, we are destroying and taking away their habitat. And we don't just do this in the Florida Everglades, we're doing this in the Amazon River Basin, we're doing it across Africa, we're doing it in an industrial expansion in Southeast Asia. And we have a responsibility as the current stewards of Mother Earth to find a way to coexist with all of these other creatures, be it birds or fish. And this book series is intended to provide literature that will inspire our children and our grandchildren to have a better fundamental understanding of Mother Earth and their responsibility to protect and preserve it.